Good morning, students. Welcome back to chemistry classroom once again. Though the chapter water actually is not coming in your third term exam, but still I will continue the chapter because already I have left the chapter in the second term exam. So I'll start from this portion, the laws of water of crystallization on heating. So look at your book. A hydrate. Already I have discussed in the previous class what is hydrate. A chemical substance containing water molecule within it, that is known as hydrate. So a hydrate on being heated, जब उसको हम heat देंगे, loses its water of crystallization, and it has been observed that it loses its crystalline structure too. You can find this for yourself by doing the following activity. Take a few crystal of blue vitriol. Blue vitriol means copper sulfate, 5H2O, that is also known as blue vitriol, in a dry test tube and heat gently. धीरे धीरे उसको heat देना है. You will observe that the salt will slowly lose its blue color. Blue vitriol lose its blue color and turning white. The crystals will crumble down to a powdery substance. So it loses its crystalline bond and turn into powdery substance. Some colorless liquid drops will collect in the colder part of the test tube. Cool the white powdery substance and moisten it with a drop of water. मतलब white powdery substance में ट्रांसफर होने के बाद अगर थोड़ी powdery substance हम लोग कलेक्ट कर लेंगे और उसके साथ थोड़ा single drop of water अगर ऐड करेंगे, that solid turn blue again. So watery powdery substance turn blue again. What happens during these changes can be summarized as follows. The blue copper sulfate pentahydrate on being heated loses the water molecules and changes to the white anhydrous copper sulfate. मतलब जब हम लोग ब्लू विट्रियल को हीट देंगे, नॉर्मली वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स उसको रिलीज करके दैट टर्न इनटू व्हाइट एनहाइड्रस. एनहाइड्रस मतलब नॉर्मली जिसके अंदर कोई वाटर मॉलिक्यूल प्रेजेंट नहीं है, दैट्स मीन विदाउट वाटर, कॉपर सल्फेट पे ट्रांसफर हो जाता है. एंड ऑन ट्रीटमेंट विद वाटर द एनहाइड्रस सॉल्ट चेंजेस बैक टू द हाइड्रेटेड सॉल्ट. लुक एट द केमिकल रिएक्शन. CuSO4 5H2O जब हीट दे रहा है, नॉर्मली वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स को रिलीज कर दे रहा है, देन टर्न इनटू एनहाइड्रस CuSO4 ओनली व्हाट व्हाइट पाउडरी सब्सटेंस. अगेन जब हम लोग उसके वाटर ऐड करके मॉइस्चन करेंगे, या टर्न इनटू ब्लू विट्रियल, आई मीन CuSO4 5H2O, वो हाइड्रेटेड सॉल्ट में ट्रांसफर हो जाता है. द क्रिस्टलाइन स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द हाइड्रेटेड सॉल्ट इज लॉस्ट when it loses the water molecules. Thus, water of crystallization is a part of the crystalline structure. You can't repeat the activity with the crystals of green vitriol, FeSO4 7H2O. तो नॉर्मली तुम FeSO4 7H2O को ऐसे अगर हीट दोगे, नॉर्मली दैट टर्न इनटू व्हाइट पाउडरी सब्सटेंस, दैट इज FeSO4. अगेन अगर उसको साथ अगर हम लोग वाटर ऐड करेंगे, दैट टर्न इनटू लाइट ग्रीन विट्रियल, आई मीन FeSO4 7H2O. सेम process. Now, how to test for water? To know whether a colorless liquid is water or not, we generally bring in contact with the liquid some white anhydrous copper sulfate. अगर तुमको टेस्ट करना है कोई कलरलेस लिक्विड अगर वाटर है या दूसरा कोई चीज, तुमको क्या करना है, नॉर्मली वी जनरली ब्रिंग इन कॉन्टैक्ट विद सम लिक्विड विथ व्हाइट एनहाइड्रस कॉपर सल्फेट. द एनहाइड्रस सॉल्ट टर्न ब्लू इफ द लिक्विड इज वाटर. तो नॉर्मली अगर हम लोग कोई कलरलेस लिक्विड को एनहाइड्रस कॉपर सल्फेट के कॉन्टैक्ट में लेके आएंगे, देन इफ द कॉपर सल्फेट टर्न इनटू ब्लू, दैट प्रूव्स दैट नॉर्मली द लिक्विड इज वाटर, बिकॉज with contact of copper sulfate, it gain the water molecules and transfer into hydrated salt, that is copper sulfate pentahydrate, I mean blue vitriol. That test can also be performed with white anhydrous iron sulfate also, which turns green on treatment with water. The above mentioned anhydrous salt can be prepared by slowly heating the hydrated salt. Next, hygroscopic substance. A substance that absorbs moisture from the atmosphere is called hygroscopic substance. So when anhydrous salt gain water molecules from atmosphere, then the substance is known as hygroscopic substance. So basically, which kind of chemical substance gain water molecules or absorb moisture from the atmosphere? These are known as hygroscopic substance. Some example are here. Anhydrous calcium chloride. Next, anhydrous magnesium chloride, silica gel, sodium hydroxide, soda lime, sulfuric acid, etc. These kind of chemical substances absorb water from the atmosphere. These substances are known as hygroscopic substances. So student, you have to learn the example and definition. They are generally used as a drying agent. You might have seen a small cloth of bag containing a solid inside a box of medicine, thermoflask or a camera. The bag contains a silica gel, a common drying agent, which keeps the air inside the box dry. मतलब बैग में कुछ सामान लेके उसके अंदर हम लोग सिलिका जेल डाल देंगे तो नॉर्मली बैग के अंदर अगर कोई एटमॉस्फेरिक एयर हो मतलब मॉइस्चर जो है उसको वो सोक करके मतलब एब्जॉर्ब करके बॉक्स को ड्राई रखेगा. Other drying agents like calcium chloride, sodium hydroxide, soda lime, sulfuric acid are used in the scientific work only. And you will learn about their uses in higher classes. Next, deliquescent substances. A solid hygroscopic substance which absorbs so much of the atmospheric moisture that the solid dissolves in it and forms a concentrated solution is called deliquescent substances. इसका मीनिंग बहुत टफ है. What is the meaning of that portion? मतलब जब हाइग्रोस्कोपिक सब्सटेंस एटमॉस्फेरिक मॉइस्चर को एब्जॉर्ब करने के बाद उस पर दोबारा डिजॉल्व हो जा रहा है एंड टर्न इनटू कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड सॉल्यूशन, तब जाके उस सब्सटेंस को बोलेंगे डेलिक्वेसेंट सब्सटेंसेस. सो व्हेन अ केमिकल सब्सटेंसेस और हाइग्रोस्कोपिक सब्सटेंसेस absorb atmospheric moisture and dissolve in it to form a concentrated solution, these chemical substances are known as deliquescent substances. Among the hygroscopic substances mentioned in the table 8.3, calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, and NaOH are deliquescent only. So you have to learn the example only. Calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, and sodium hydroxide are deliquescent substances because these substances basically absorb atmospheric moisture and dissolve in it to form a concentrated solution. That's why these are known as deliquescent substances. You must have observed that rock salt or crude common salt when left in the open in the rainy season appear to have melted. नॉर्मली कॉमन सॉल्ट या रॉक सॉल्ट जो भी हो अगर हम लोग बारिश के मौसम में खुला छोड़ देंगे देखेंगे क्या वो खुद ब खुद ऐसे पानी में बदल रहा है. एक्चुअली इट डज नॉट मेल्ट at an ordinary temperature. In fact, it contains highly deliquescent substances, calcium chloride and magnesium chloride as a impurities. So it absorbs so much moisture from the atmosphere. So basically calcium chloride and magnesium chloride, they have lots of impurities in it. That's why it can easily absorb moisture from the atmosphere because they are highly deliquescent substances. In rainy season that it gets dissolved and appears to have melted. इसी कारण इसको नॉर्मली बारिश के मौसम में लिखेंगे क्या लग रहा है मेल्टेड हो गया मतलब पूरा पानी में ट्रांसफर हो रहा है. However, refined table salt does not show this property as it does not contain calcium chloride or magnesium chloride. That's why refined salt जो होता है they do not turn into melted because they does not contain calcium chloride or magnesium chloride inside it. Similarly, solid NaOH kept open in a beaker start looking watery within a few minutes. Remember that after a long time NaOH react with atmospheric carbon dioxide also. Next, the action of metals and metal oxide on water. Many metals and metal oxides react with water. To understand this reaction, we need to have an idea about the activity series. Metal along with hydrogen have been arranged according to their activity in this series. This series consisting of some common metal is given here. Here is a long series. The action of metals on water. Whenever a metal reacts with water, it does so with a view displacing hydrogen from water. जब नॉर्मली मेटल रिएक्ट करता है वाटर के साथ, it easily displaces the hydrogen atom from it. Obviously, only those metal can displace hydrogen from water which are more active than hydrogen. So which kind of metals basically are highly active than hydrogen? They can easily displace the hydrogen atom from water. So look at the chart. First of all, potassium, again sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron, and tin. Obviously lead. These are the highly active than hydrogen. That's why they can easily displace the hydrogen atom from water and form particular metal oxide. We can also understand that the more active the metal, higher the metal in the activity, the more vigorous is reaction with water. So those metals are highly reactive than hydrogen. They are more vigorously react with water. We will discuss here the action of potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium and iron on water. We should remember that those tin and lead are higher than hydrogen in the activity series. They do not act on water. So that is the exception. Though the tin and lead both are highly active than hydrogen, but they do not react with water. I mean, they are not able to displace the hydrogen atom from water and don't form the metal oxide. Next, action of potassium and sodium on water. Among the common metals, potassium and sodium are the most active ones. So, among the total metals, sodium and potassium are highly reactive with water and vigorously act with water. They are soft and get quickly affected by the moisture because they are soft metal. That's why easily affected by moisture of the air and are therefore preserved in kerosene. That's why they are preserved in kerosene. So, as because potassium and sodium are soft metal, they can easily react with air. That's why they are preserved in kerosene. इसके नीचे दाग लगाना. So, potassium and sodium are basically preserved in kerosene because they are highly reactive with water or air. A small piece of metal is cut with a knife, dried by pressing between the folds of a filter paper and dropped into a trough of water. We make the following observation about two metals. In case of sodium, the metal soon changes into silvery white globule that does not sink but darts around on the surface. देखेंगे सोडियम जल्दी पानी के अंदर घुल रहा है. Normally, a hissing sound is constantly heard and a yellow spark flies intermittently with a pop. The resulting solution turns red litmus blue and so it is alkaline. So normally जब सोडियम को हम लोग पानी में डिजॉल्व करने की कोशिश करेंगे, मतलब कोशिश करनी अगर डिजॉल्व करते हैं, ऑलवेज हिसिंग साउंड सुनाई देगा और येलो स्पार्क फ्लाइज इंटरमिडिएटली विद अ पॉप साउंड. येलो स्पार्क भी दिखाई देगा पॉप साउंड के साथ. तो नॉर्मली इस रिएक्शन का सॉल्यूशन रिजल्ट जो है, resulting solution turns the red litmus blue and so it is alkaline. So it is proved that it is a alkaline in nature. We infer that sodium reacts vigorously with water to form a sodium hydroxide and liberated hydrogen. So normally जब सोडियम को अगर हम लोग वाटर में डिजॉल्व करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं तो सोडियम replace the hydrogen and form a sodium hydroxide that is base in nature and liberated hydrogen gas. So at the same time, the reaction is highly exothermic and so the metal melts to form a globule. The reaction is highly exothermic. That's why मतलब बहुत सारा हीट रिलीज कर रहा है, इसी कारण मेटल फॉर्म अ ग्लोब्यूल, मतलब ऐसे बबल फॉर्म करने की कोशिश करेगा. So look at the reaction. Sodium plus H2O. From what I sodium hydroxide, that is alkaline in nature, turn red litmus in blue. And hydrogen burns with a pop sound. Yellow fire निकाल के pop sound करके hydrogen liberated होगा. The hydrogen burns with a pop and yellow spark and produced by small particles of sodium. Throw some common salt, sodium chloride, into a flame of kitchen stove and watch the color imparted to the flame. It is yellow. Also, does not a sodium vapor lamp have a yellow light? So student, वीडियो को हम यहाँ पे स्टॉप कर रहे हैं. आई होप ऑल ऑफ यू अंडरस्टूड. सो फॉर टुडे, अप टू दिस पोर्शन.